Alright, you all grab your materials and let's begin to draw the side view of a human head. We can start this with an oval. From one side, draw a straight line down, faintly if you prefer. On the other side, from the curve, this will be the back of the head or the skull. Keep going. Add a bit more of an angle down, and then straighten it up to form the neck. Use your eraser whenever you need to, of course. And you can even draw in a curve going the opposite direction from this one for the shoulder. From the top middle of your oval shape, you can draw a straight line down, and that will be approximately where the ear falls. Almost equal from here to here is here to here for the other side of the neck. Now this part will be different for different people. Some people might have an Adam's apple, some people might not. But generally it does go back in a little bit here. To meet the clavicles here and here. You can add that in if you want to, you don't have to. And here is just an indication of the other shoulder on the far side. This line to me is a bit too boxy, so I'll just soften it up a little bit. Here our angle is down and out, but goes further than this line. And this will be different for different people, but generally we do go out, meet the line, and go past it at least some. Here we can indicate the bridge of the nose, different for different people, of course. Goes out at a bit of an angle. Everyone has different noses, eyes, ears, mouths, but in general, this is basically a triangle. And we of course have that part of the nose that wraps right there, and then a nostril as well. This part wraps around and under and meets the lip, but it's away from the skull, usually. So I'll put a bump right there for the top lip, and a bump right here for the bottom lip. Here we have a line that goes in before we form the chin. So So I'm going to push my jawline down and out a little bit. And erase that part back a little bit. So this line goes to about here and then pushes up and to the left, or this direction, to meet where the ear is. So this line is to help us find where the ear falls, and it's just on the other side here. And it's basically an oval, small end here, big end here. Everyone's facial features are different, but this is a general guideline of where these features fall. Just inside this bridge of the nose and brow line here, we have another line which starts the brow itself, the eyebrow, and the eye socket. So from that line, we can draw a curve kind of down, and this is generally where the eye is. So here it will angle down for the eyelid. And here is the bottom of the eyelid where the lashes are. So we can add in a curve here and a little bit of the pupil or iris to indicate where that is. We're not focusing on eyelashes and all that, just on where the facial features fall. If you want to add eyelashes and all that kind of thing, please do. Here, where the eyebrow starts, we have to imagine that it wraps around the eye socket and then points down in a similar way that the corner of the eye does. So wrap it around the eye socket and then back around this way. And you can shade it in if you like and clean it up a little bit. I'm going to try to make mine a little bit more pointed. Maybe just a little bit bigger. And I'll add a little bit of an eyelash here to indicate where that would be. Here, in general, people have hair, and it kind of follows different patterns for different people. But in general, it wraps around this part of the head. It might have a point, it might not. And some people have more hair and some people have less hair. So here's my general hairline. Some people have more hair down this direction. And in the back, it will wrap around to the nape of the neck, where the hair and the neck itself meet, and go all the way around. For the mouth, this person is just relaxed, so we can almost make a straight line in. And curve these out You can take away your guideline as it helps you. Like for example, I don't need mine anymore right there or right here. Now it's just in the way of the lips. And up here. So for this person, I'm going to make a curve up to that point and a line here. Some people have hair here and others don't. I'm going to erase back this line here because we don't need it. And this line here, 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 making this bit more of a curve to make it a more feminine subject. And you can make it like sharper edges to make it a more masculine subject. Here for the ear, we're not going to get into too much detail, but you can draw a stronger line here. Everybody's ears are different, eyes, mouths, noses. So study lots of different people to get better at people drawing. Make a stronger line here, and you can add in the inner parts of the ear if you want to. So for example, I'll follow this line just a little bit, down, back up a little bit, kind of a curve here and here, up, a bump here, and a curve here and here. And this line comes back down here a bit more strongly. Not that strongly. And a bit of a line here and here. So shade in that part if you want to. Take away the unnecessary guidelines, like this one, for example, and this one. I'm giving this person a thicker, like outer ear, the cartilage part. You all can add, earrings or jewelry, whatever you like. We can add some shading here for contour. You don't have to do this part. Use the side of your pencil if you'd like to add in a little bit of shading. And you can go back and forth in one direction and another if you'd like to. And if you do this, you might want to go everywhere because it begins to look like facial hair if it's not all over. You can kind of draw a bit of a shading plane here. You don't have to though. For this person, I am going to stop the head right about here. And have a bit more hair. You can add in shading down here, of course, for underneath the chin. But this class is mainly focusing on proportions, so add in whatever shading you'd like to, and then go on to the next one. If you add in too much anywhere, just erase it back and try again. If you go one direction with your shading, try to go another direction to give a bit more interest. Like for example, over here I went up and down, so now I'm going side to side. If you want to add in a t-shirt or whatever you like, go ahead and do that. I'll make this lip a little bit darker like I did on the last one, and this one a little bit lighter. You can smudge to make your shading better. If you're on a digital application instead of traditional materials, you usually have a button like this, and you can choose a different brush for your smudging brush. For example, if I were to use airbrushing soft brush, I'd be able to smudge like that. However, I'm going to keep this pretty streaky. Just know that those options are available to you in a digital format as well as in traditional. All right, I think we've got all of the facial features mapped out. I've added just about as much shading as I care to. So, add in hair if you prefer. If you don't, let's go ahead and move on. I think for mine, I will add in some hair. I'll just keep it pretty loose though, and almost like shading. I'm making the hair kind of go away from the head. And I'm just kind of squiggling it around like this to make it give the impression of like curly hair. You can do this part if you want to, but you certainly don't have to. Here I'm just drawing in a kind of curved line to indicate that this person is wearing a dress. But I won't add too much detail there because this is a people and figure drawing class. So we've got the basic proportions of the head. Let's go on to 3/4 view.